Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I am Yandi and this is the Mamahood experience. So in today's video, I decided that I want to share a story time on both my pregnancies, because that's the question that everyone loves asking me. You've got 4 babies, you've got triplets, how did it happen, and so on. So I'll share that story, but before I do that, please like, subscribe, and click on the notification button because I post videos every Sunday. Let's get to it. So this is my pregnancy and delivery story. A year into our marriage, my husband and I, we decided that we are ready to have our first child. So before we started practicing, we practiced, but I decided that it would be best for me to kind of check myself health wise to see if everything's fine, and I made a doctor's appointment, met with my doctor. It wasn't actually my doctor, it was a referral with this lady. She was very friendly and nice, and I met with her and she said, I'm fairly fine. She gave me a bit of pills and she said, look, if nothing happens within 6 months, come back to me and we'll take it from there. Fortunately for us, it was barely 2 months within and I was pregnant. Yay! And we were happy, we were excited. I had morning sickness. Things smelled awful in both my pregnancies, actually. That was just me. I had morning sickness and I threw up quite a lot. But other than that, I was fairly healthy. My first pregnancy went on very smoothly. We went to doctor's visits. I was obsessed with reading all the pregnancy books and how the child develops and what will happen within the first 2 years and my plans. I kind of romanticized the whole idea of being a mother, and the reality was quite different, I must say, especially for my first child. And October came, I gave birth cesarean to Kuzanga, and my mother came over. She helped us out and we were doing fine. We adjusted to being a family of 3, created routines, and we actually enjoyed being parents, especially for the first time. There's magic to it. There's something just about it. And within the year, I think when she was about 15 months actually, we decided, it was one particular day, we decided that it's not a bad idea to have a second one. They're gonna grow up together. We'll do this thing once and for all. We're done. And on that particular day, I know that we conceived. So that happened. For my second pregnancy, I must say I wasn't as proactive in terms of setting up appointments, because I kind of knew the routine now. I was doing it for the second time, so I was quite happy. I remember I booked my appointment within 14 weeks, but what was odd for my second pregnancy was the fact that number one, my stomach grew at a very fast rate, which I thought was quite odd, but anyways, my second pregnancy. And also, when I was hungry, I was it felt as if I had this huge hole that I couldn't fill up, and a portion of food, a portion of my plate was not enough. I always had to have seconds, even thirds. So that was the odd thing, looking back to it right now. And yeah, booked my appointment. I remember my first appointment, I was like to my husband, don't even need to come. Oh, like, you don't need to come with me. I've got this. I know like, I was very, um, what's the right word to say? I kind of knew the routine, so I was not really, yeah, I just knew the routine. So, um, went to my first appointment for the second pregnancy, and my doctor was excited. Actually, I remember the lady, the receptionist, she's like, when she saw me, oh, I'm so happy to see you because you are the type of patient that will make us to never lose our jobs. That was the joke. And yeah, walked in, and I laid on the bed, and my doctor did the thing. And for a moment, like, we were talking, talking. For a moment, he was like, oh my goodness. I was like, what? And he said, I haven't seen this since I was in university. I was like, you haven't seen what? And he was like surprised by seeing what, I don't know. And in that moment, I thought something was wrong with the baby. And for me, I thought actually like there might be some deformities with the child. And I was like, what is wrong? He kept on saying, I haven't seen this. And then he leaves the room. He calls the nurse who works with him. She's in the other office. She comes over. He's just like, come see. I mean, I haven't seen this. And this lady, she looks at me. She holds my hand and she looks at me. She says, you're gonna be all right. Okay? You're gonna be fine. I'm like, I'm fine. Can you just tell me what is wrong with my baby? And yeah, and she said, and then he said, it's not baby, it's babies. And I'm like, what do you mean it's babies? And he said, okay, let's count together. He circled 1, he circled 2, and then he circled 3. And he said, you're carrying triplets. I was shocked, to say, I was yeah, in that moment I thought at some stage he was gonna say, no, I'm just joking. Like, I was waiting for that I'm joking part, which never came. And that was it. I was carrying triplets, and I just started weeping, like bawling, yeah, I started crying because this was not part of the plan. I thought of my Kuzanga, thinking she's only just a baby, and now I'm gonna be having 3. Like, it just, nothing made sense at that moment for me. Nothing. And I was just paralyzed with emotions. I couldn't drive myself to work. I had to go to work after the appointment. I couldn't. I just called my manager saying, listen, I can't go to work right now. I'm going through something. I called my husband. I was like, come pick me up. This is what this man has told me, carrying 3. And when I came home, I remember I came to Kuzanga's room. I covered myself with a pillow and I just started crying. And my husband, he was actually a bit excited because it was like a man thing. Yay, I'm gonna have triplets, that kind of a man thing. And for me, it was the opposite. I was naive. I didn't know what was gonna happen, but at the same time I was scared. But at the same time I wanted my kids to be safe because I love them. Like, it was just everything all at once. And on that particular day, my sister came over and she said congratulations. My sister-in-law came over to say congratulations. And I struggled the first 3 months, but once you bond with your children and you really make that connection, you don't want nothing wrong to happen to them. So I came to my senses, I think, within the 4th month, and all I knew was that I wanted my babies to be healthy and I wanted to see them. And we ensured that, like, everything that was possibly, like, health-wise that we could do, we did from our side. Um, I went to my normal doctor, and I also went to a specialist to kind of ensure that everything was fine. And I delivered the kids via cesarean when they were 34 weeks. I wanted actually to push it to 36 weeks, to 36, 38 weeks, because I didn't want them to be too small. I wanted them to be to grow in size, but my body just, yeah, it was too much on my body. But I was also lucky because a month before I gave birth, my mother came over to help us out. Um, she stayed with us. She nursed me. She cooked for me. She just took care of me and my baby. And also, we had a stay-in help. Um, at 34 weeks, I gave birth to Kutemwa, Kanyata, and Kuzipa. And their birth weights were 2 kg, 1.5, and 1 kg, which actually for multiples is quite rare. And we were lucky that they all were healthy. I thank God for that, because that was the one thing that I prayed for as I read into carrying multiples and the risk of carrying multiples. Some of them, you give birth to them and they're underdeveloped. There might be eye issues or some issues that they might have, but I was very lucky, and we were very lucky. I thank the Lord that I gave birth to 3 healthy babies. And my mother stayed. She committed to stay with us for 12 months, a year. But within the 9th year, she was like, okay, I'm leaving you guys. You guys are fine. You've got your routine. And life went on. One thing that I also wanted to mention is that we conceived naturally. So there was no IVF. I think it was just something that I carried in my gene, because I've got twin siblings, and also my husband's side of the family, they're twins. So it was that. So yeah, that is my story of having 4 kids in a space of, I think, about less than 3 years. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and click on the notification button. Thank you so much.